Have you ever experienced a sudden, inexplicable jolt of sensation? Perhaps a strange, insistent tickle beneath your collarbone, a fleeting warmth on your forehead, or an intense, immediate need to scratch a spot you can't quite reach on your shoulder. For that brief, unsettling moment, did a quiet thought surface suggesting, "This isn't just my nerves. This is a sign." We often dismiss these sensations as merely dry skin, allergies, or an odd nerve flutter. But what if your physical body is, in fact, an intricate radio receiver, perpetually broadcasting signals about your deepest spiritual state? What if those fleeting sensations are not random static, but a deliberate sacred form of communication? The truth is, an itch is profoundly more than a dermatological annoyance. On a higher level, it functions as a spiritual alarm system, a nonverbal message emerging directly from your soul. It's an urgent effort to pierce the constant chatter of your busy, modern life, demanding your attention before critical shifts occur. When your internal energy is in flux, when your spirit is actively awakening to higher truths, or conversely, when you're under a heavy energetic or emotional attack, your physical form becomes the primary sensor. The sharp, sudden itch is often the very first indication of these significant, unseen dynamics. This journey we're about to embark on will delve into the profound reality behind these common, but often misunderstood sensations. We won't just touch on the medical or psychological angles. We will immerse ourselves in the spiritual significance of what your body is trying to convey. Because every area of your body, from your head to your feet, carries a specific sacred meaning. The precise location of an intense itch can pinpoint exactly where your spirit is experiencing the greatest tension, the most urgent need for change, or the most powerful forthcoming blessing. Please stay present with me for every single word, because the insights we are about to unlock may finally provide clarity for the persistent, intuitive feelings you've held your entire life but could never fully articulate. If you feel a spark of recognition or an internal resonance stirring within you right now, do not look away. Instead, take a deep, mindful breath, find stillness, and truly listen. Remember, those who are on a path of awakening don't stumble upon messages of this nature by mere chance. If you've been guided here, you were absolutely intended to receive this wisdom at this very moment in your life. Before we dive into the specific body map, if you sense this truth vibrating within your own spirit, I encourage you to hit the like button, subscribe to join this conscious community, and take a moment to comment 1111 below. Why 1111? This number is a universally recognized symbol of spiritual alignment, new beginnings, and direct manifestation. The universe is signaling that your thoughts are creating your reality right now. Only those who are truly ready to step into their power will understand this significance. Now let the decoding begin. Let's begin by focusing on your hands, the incredible extensions of your inner energy, the sacred tools through which you directly interact with, create in, and receive from the world around you. When an unmistakable, compelling itch originates in your right hand, it's usually not a mundane irritation. It is a clear energetic signal indicating an inflow is imminent. This signifies that something positive you've been consciously or unconsciously anticipating, a fresh opportunity, a necessary shift, or a divine blessing, is physically moving toward your reality, even if its visible form hasn't quite materialized yet. Across countless spiritual traditions, the right hand is recognized as the side of reception, symbolizing the power of manifestation and the influx of prosperity. This abundance can take many forms: a financial uplift, a new emotional connection, or a significant spiritual upgrade. An intensely itchy right palm can be understood as an energetic precursor to a major breakthrough. A critical new pathway is opening for you. However, there's an essential question you must ask yourself. Are you truly receptive to this blessing? Or have past disappointments caused you to subconsciously fortify barriers around your heart, inadvertently blocking the very thing you've been praying and working toward? Now we shift our focus to the left hand, which spiritually represents the principle of release, the necessary act of surrender. An itch on your left hand is a profound indication that it's time to consciously let go. This isn't just about purging physical possessions or breaking a bad habit. It's about dissolving stagnant energetic ties, freeing yourself from toxic relationships, or finally relinquishing deep-seated pain that you've mistakenly worn as a badge of resilience. Perhaps you've been grasping far too tightly to a situation or a person that has genuinely served its purpose, and now only hinders your growth. Your soul is urgently signaling a need for emotional and spiritual space, but your deepest fears are relentlessly trying to keep the lock secured. There is also the rarer, more intense experience when both hands itch simultaneously. This is far beyond mere coincidence. It is a moment of profound energetic conflict and alignment happening all at once. It's an immediate cosmic struggle between the new, positive energy desperately attempting to enter your life and the old, persistent energy you are stubbornly refusing to let exit. Your hands serve as an absolute mirror to your internal energetic landscape. Therefore, the core inquiry isn't simply, why are my hands itching? But what fresh energy am I finally allowing to flow in? And what fearful energy am I too resistant to fully release? Your greatest destiny and your highest path require hands that are open and ready to receive, not fists that are tightly clenched and closed off. Take a moment right now to pause and honestly reflect. What is that one thing you know deep down you need to shed or walk away from, but haven't yet? Because the paradox is beautiful. Only once your hands are consciously and spiritually emptied of the old can the universe effectively move in to fill them with the abundant new. Yet the story doesn't end with your hands. There's an entirely different, powerful signal that arises lower down on your feet, and its meaning could dramatically pivot the entire trajectory of your current life journey. Keep watching and stay with me. Let's now direct our attention to your feet, the steadfast anchors of your existence, the physical foundation that carries not just your literal weight, but the entire potential of your destiny. When you notice an insistent growing itch on your feet, perhaps starting subtly and then becoming demanding, you must resist the impulse to merely scratch it away. Your body is likely not requesting topical relief. It may be delivering an urgent command. It's time to go. It's time to move. Itching feet have historically been viewed as a powerful omen, a clear sign that your soul has reached a state of powerful restlessness, a spiritual imperative to leave something safe and familiar behind. This might necessitate a physical journey, but more frequently, it signifies an internal departure. It is your spirit attempting to pull you forcibly toward a higher expression of yourself, a completely new mission, an updated mindset, or a courageous, new way of living that naturally generates fear precisely because it is currently unfamiliar and untested. Here is the vital, unspoken truth that many overlook. Remaining static and stubbornly resistant when your soul is clearly issuing a directive to move is a very deep, subtle form of self-betrayal. That persistent tingling itch on the sole of your foot might well be the universe actively vibrating your foundation, stating in no uncertain terms, you were never meant to stay here. You can feel it, can't you? That underlying sense of agitation, that gnawing intuition that something is fundamentally misaligned in your current existence, even if your outer life appears perfectly stable and successful. That itch is the first tiny crack forming in the wall of your comfort zone, and the more intensely you try to ignore or rationalize it away, the more aggressive and penetrating the sensation becomes, until eventually it transmutes into generalized anxiety, debilitating fatigue, or even spiritual apathy. But here lies the genuine beauty of this sensation. The itch itself is a sacred living map, a profound energetic push directly toward the path you are genuinely intended to walk. The more you fight this powerful internal momentum, the further you will drift from the version of yourself that is patiently waiting to greet you on the other side of your fear. So, take this moment to ask yourself with genuine self-honesty, have you been deliberately overlooking these clear signs? Have you been employing logic and comfort as reasons to remain anchored to a place or situation that your very soul is desperately urging you to abandon? Your future doesn't suddenly appear when you feel perfectly ready for it. Your genuine future begins the exact moment you summon the courage to take that first, frightening step. And it is especially powerful if that step utterly terrifies you. This fear is a strong indication that your next level of evolution is incredibly close. Your feet already understand this truth far sooner than your logical mind can grasp it. Therefore, if they are itching, if they feel restless, if they are buzzing with a silent, invisible energy, don't immediately reach for a cream or a distraction. Instead, reach inward for awareness and outward for direction, because the single greatest journey your soul has been waiting for may begin with just that one small, decisive step. And yet, what if the next signal is not located beneath you? What if the next crucial sign is positioned above you, right at the epicenter of your non-stop thought process? Stay fully engaged. The activity occurring on your scalp is potentially the most significant battleground of all, and you need to fully grasp this message. We now ascend to the apex, the highest point of your physical being, your crown, your head, the literal gateway that connects conscious thought to pure spirit. When your scalp begins to itch unexpectedly, when your head vibrates or tingles without any obvious physical cause, it is absolutely not a random event. This is a powerful, non-negotiable signal, a definite warning, or a sacred invitation. Let's first address the warning, because your scalp, which corresponds to your crown chakra, is in direct, deep communication with your entire mental field. When your mind is dangerously overtaxed, when thoughts run in an endless, dizzying loop of anxiety, your body physically reacts. It tingles, it buzzes, it itches, desperately demanding silence amidst the internal storm. This particular type of itch is like spiritual static, a clear indicator that your mental operating system is severely overstimulated. It is cluttered with outdated beliefs, toxic doubt, excessive overanalysis, and paralyzing fears about the unknown future. You are currently thinking so incessantly and loudly that you are incapable of truly hearing anything of value. You have, in essence, become a prisoner within the walls of your own incessant thoughts. But here is a fundamental spiritual truth. Not every thought that cycles through your mind actually originated with you. Many were cruelly imprinted by past trauma, by the critical voices of others, or by fear masquerading as sensible, protective logic. The more frequently you repeat and believe these imported thoughts, the more thoroughly you drown out the quiet, assured voice of your higher self. Yet critically, not all scalp itching is a symptom of a mental overload. Sometimes it is pure activation. That distinct tingling sensation, particularly radiating from the very crown of your head, can be a powerful indication that a higher source is actively attempting to break through. This is often a divine download, a potent spiritual insight, or a profound truth that has been patiently waiting for you to slow down long enough to become receptive. Because your ego, the part of you that craves control, cannot yet fully comprehend this new information, it naturally resists, which creates this physical discomfort. You itch, not because something is going wrong, but because something profoundly new and transformative is arriving. You may be right on the precipice of a massive breakthrough, yet your conditioned mind remains frantically clinging to familiar, limiting narratives, obsolete belief systems, and well-worn, painful patterns. So we come to a moment of deep introspection. What limiting thoughts are you still replaying that demonstrably no longer serve the person you are becoming? Whose voice told you years ago that you weren't enough? Who instilled the fear that prevents you from speaking your own truth? Why are you still rigidly adhering to a set of rules and expectations that were never designed for your actual healing and growth? Until you make a conscious effort to clear out the relentless mental noise, you will inevitably miss the soft, vital whisper of wisdom. You will fail to recognize the profound divine message hidden within that irritating itch. Your scalp is not broken, and your mind is not inherently flawed. They are simply exhausted by the lies and desperately ready for the illuminating light of truth. Let's now address the part of the body we rarely look at, but always deeply feel: your back. This silent, powerful expanse, from the area between your shoulder blades down your spine, is the terrain where chronic tension resides and where all your unresolved burdens inevitably settle. When a persistent itch begins on your back, particularly in the middle or upper sections, it is a statement not just about your skin, but about the overwhelming strain you are living under. The back is the place where we carry the weight of everything we've never felt safe enough to articulate aloud. This includes unprocessed grief, heavy responsibilities we never chose but accepted, deep-seated guilt we were never meant to hold, and invisible pain that no one else has ever been privy to. An itch here is your body's most desperate, raw scream. This is far too much to carry. It is your soul urgently signaling that the massive, unseen emotional weight you've been dragging through life has finally reached a critical breaking point. Ask yourself honestly, how much of what is currently weighing you down isn't even yours to bear? Are you still rigidly holding on to the outdated expectations of others? Are you still attempting to be the unflappable strong one for people who consistently fail to support you in return? Are you perpetually putting on a brave face and pretending you are perfectly okay, simply to avoid becoming a perceived burden to others? The itch on your back may be your powerful spirit vigorously scraping against a pressure it was never fundamentally designed to withstand for this long. Yet, this itch is not always an indication of crushing weight. Sometimes it signals a profound absence or a powerful longing. It can be a deep, unmet need for support, authentic affection, or a sense of genuine protection. The back is spiritually the most vulnerable zone on the body. It is the place where betrayal is felt most acutely, where a comforting hug resonates most deeply, and where the absence of love or support leaves the most indelible scar. When your back is persistently itching, it may be because you've gone far too long without feeling truly safe and seen, without a single soul standing firmly behind you to simply declare, "I've got your back." And perhaps the deepest reason the itch is located in a spot you cannot physically reach is because this particular wound or burden is not meant to be healed in isolation. This is your soul's subtle invitation to finally let someone into your internal world, to stop shouldering every difficulty completely alone, and to courageously admit, "I am tired." This admission does not mark you as weak. It solidifies your humanity. Pause right now and honestly reflect. Do you feel profoundly alone in your current struggles? True healing begins the very moment you stop exhausting yourself by pretending everything is fine. That stubborn itch might be your very first, liberating invitation to finally let go of the burdens, the silence, and the ingrained, toxic need to always be the person who holds up the entire world. But what is the meaning when the itching is not fixed to your hands, feet, head, or back? What happens when the sensation refuses to remain in one place? When it begins on your arm, swiftly jumps to your neck, then to your ribs, and finally settles on your ankle. It's as if your very skin is either frantically pursuing something unseen or desperately trying to make an escape. Understand this clearly. This is not a random neurological quirk. This phenomenon is a direct, undeniable signal of your energy shifting, realigning, and actively evolving. You, my friend, are not a stationary object. You are a dynamic force in constant motion, not just physically, but in the totality of your spiritual being. The human soul was never designed to remain stagnant or unchanged. Yet our inherent psychological conditioning often causes us to violently resist change, to cling fiercely to the familiar, even when that familiarity is actively causing us pain. We reflexively recoil from growth precisely because the outcome feels so profoundly uncertain. But here is the powerful, hidden wisdom. Your energy body is privy to profound knowledge long before your conscious mind ever catches up. Before your logical thoughts can organize themselves, before your emotional reactions make any sense, your inner spiritual frequency begins a massive internal shift. When this occurs, your physical body transforms into a sacred map of the awakening process. Those scattered, non-specific itches are not meaningless interruptions. They are functioning like tiny energetic pressure points, gently reminding you that something fundamental is being rearranged inside you. The person you were is actively dissolving, and that process is often confusing, profoundly uncomfortable, and absolutely, unequivocally necessary. Some spiritual seekers refer to this process as ascension. Others term it energetic recalibration. But at its deepest, most fundamental level, it represents a powerful breaking, a part of old confining patterns and the simultaneous inevitable birth of a self that is undeniably new and more expansive. You may have noticed other correlating signs as well. A sudden, powerful sensitivity to sound, a feeling of aimless restlessness, emotions that rise sharply without immediate external cause, or dreams that feel far too visceral to be mere fantasy. These are not coincidences. They are direct invitations. Your soul is persistently knocking at the door, and your body, your magnificent sacred vessel, is the one echoing that powerful call throughout your physical being. The danger, however, lies in our failure to properly recognize these signs. When we don't grasp what they truly represent, we categorize them as problems to be eliminated. We frantically scratch them, attempt to numb the sensation with distractions, or seek external solutions instead of simply pausing to ask, what is this sensation actively trying to awaken within me? Because sometimes the itch is not intended to be relieved. It is intended to be heard. So confront this question with radical honesty. Are you vehemently resisting the very changes your soul is urgently demanding? Are you ignoring the essential nudge toward evolving into your higher purpose, purely because the process is momentarily uncomfortable and disorienting? Make no mistake, something immense is forcefully rising inside you, and it will not be silenced any longer. But now the most profound question arises. Now that you have identified these specific signals, felt the powerful underlying messages, what is your next move? Because in these final moments, we are not merely finishing a decoding session. We are actively stepping across the threshold into personal transformation. Prepare yourself, because everything you thought you knew about your own body is about to fundamentally shift. Your body was never just a collection of cells or simple flesh. It is a fully living altar, a sacred and powerful communicator, a divine vessel meticulously designed to speak directly with the unseen, infinite world. And every singular itch, every fleeting tingle, every deep flicker beneath the surface of your skin is not a random error. It is a sacred code, a powerful nonverbal language that only your own unique soul was created to fully understand and interpret. From this moment forward, you can never look at your body in the same diminished way again, because you now know, you feel it in your bones, that you were not just thoughtlessly scratching. You were actively receiving a divine summon, a powerful, unmistakable signal from the deepest, most authentic part of your entire being, the command to rise, to release, and to deeply remember who you truly are. You were not created to exist in a state of spiritual sleep. You were not put on this earth to silence your profound, guiding intuition. You are absolutely here at this very moment to awaken fully, boldly, and now. So the next time your skin stirs with that sudden, inexplicable sensation, do not reflexively dismiss it. Do not attempt to numb or drown out the experience. Close your eyes, inhale deeply, and listen with your entire being, because in that sacred, simple moment, you are being profoundly called. And chosen ones, the people who are meant for this path, they always answer the call. You are unquestionably one of them, which is precisely why you are still here, why your spirit could not allow you to look away. You have been activated, and nothing in your inner or outer world will ever feel the same again. Breathe deeply. Allow the enormous power of this truth to rise within your core. The truth is no longer hidden from you. The messages will only grow clearer and louder now. And now you are truly ready. Comment below, my soul is listening. Declare this statement, fully own this truth, and consciously release it into the world's energy. And if this message sparked something in you, if it felt as if it were meticulously written just for you, don't keep this power to yourself. Like, subscribe, and generously share this with anyone you feel is searching for these very answers right now. The signs of your destiny are all around you, and your body has always been the first, most reliable source to know the way. This is no longer merely awareness. This is your powerful rebirth, and it commences right now, right here, within the sacred vessel of your own skin. Let the whispers you have heard become your undeniable roar.